What's up, everyone? This is FP6 bringing you some more Go Battle League battles here in the Ultra Premier Cup. These battles were taken from almost a week ago, where I was trying some different team comps out, and using a previous team, I went up against an opponent that utilized a Gyarados safe swap on me, and even though I won the lead really hard, the Gyarados, as a safe swap, my team did not have a response to it, and so this really got me thinking of trying to build my own team or trying to use some different team comps with Gyarados as a safe swap. So Gyarados running Dragon Breath, Aqua Tail, and Crunch really has a lot of neutral matchups if you can just avoid electric types. Kind of the design behind this team comp here. Gengar doesn't want to see like an Obstagoon or a Gallade in the lead. Escavalier in the back can handle Gallade and Obstagoon for sure. And then Gyarados kind of functioning as a safe swap here. But this is kind of a team that has more flexibility and not specifically designed just to align like hard counters on each Pokemon, but instead have Pokemon that can hit back with some neutral damage on some of these matchups. So you're gonna kind of see, even if I lose the lead with Gengar, Gyarados can sometimes give you a shield advantage or regain switch in that secondary matchup. And now, so like in the closing scenario here, Gengar running Sludge Bomb against this Togekiss, really nice because it's gonna hit for a lot of damage. My Gengar is very low here, so we're gonna have to see if I'm able to come back from this. I knew that they were gonna bring in the Empoleon and it didn't have any energy, so I'm able to farm that down. And then I'm going to be able to get to a Sludge Bomb on this Alola, which was massive overkill, but we're able to take that game there. As you can see, I was still veteran rank at the time of doing these battles. I'm now at the what is that called? The 2700 rank, 2750. Man, I just made a video on this like a couple days ago and I already forgot what it's called. But I'm sitting around the 2800 rating right now, and still trying out some new teams. But man, it is really difficult, especially in Ultra Premier. Again, the meta is just so diverse here. Now against Poliwrath, Aqua Tail and Crunch both hit for resisted damage. Aqua Tail does get stab on it. Crunch does slightly more overall damage though. So I'm actually going for Crunch here, which debatably is a mistake, because I do believe that Aqua Tail is more energy efficient because you do get stab damage on it. But at this point, I'm thinking that I would have been able to regain switch advantage there, but I actually just switch into my Gengar here. I'm gonna bluff the Sludge Bomb, so I'm just gonna go for the Shadow Punch here. I do get a shield, that's good for me. I will shield this up. It's definitely gonna be a Dragon Claw. Charizard takes 4 fire spins to get to the first Dragon Claw, and then 3 to the next one. It alternates between 4 and 3. I'm going to double shield here. Gengar with loaded energy is pretty powerful against whatever could come in. So I get the final shield there as well, and now I'm going to be able to get to this Shadow Punch, and I'll be able to take out this Charizard just barely with one more Shadow Claw. Really good for me. Out comes the Poliwrath. I'm going to get hit by an Ice Punch here. That's totally okay. They undercharge it, which was a really nice play on their part. Really nice play, but I'm able to farm down with Gyarados and take that out. Okay, this is a very hard counter situation here. Umbreon, especially an XL Umbreon like that, is just such a beast. I'm still working on building mine and getting it up to level 50, but man, I just do not have enough XL candies right now. So my opponent is staying in here, which again kind of indicates that they don't have a direct response to my Gyarados, but this Umbreon is just absolutely shredding my whole team. I really need to get rid of this Umbreon so the Gengar doesn't have to see it. Out comes the Escavalier. Aqua Tail and Crunch both hit for neutral damage again here. If I would have gone for Aqua Tail, I possibly would have been able to get to 2 moves there, but I noticed that our switch clocks are out of sync here. So I'm actually going to let this drill run through because I know I can barely survive, and then I'm going to get to the Shadow Punch. This leaves my Gengar with minimal health to be farmed from the Umbreon, which is most likely going to be coming back in. And my Escavalier can handle the Umbreon in the back, which is good. But this is looking kind of rough here. They have a Drifblim in the back, so this is pretty much hard counters. Luckily, I am running Aerial Ace here, so it's going to be able to hit for neutral damage. But man, the counters are triple resisted because of the ghost and flying typing, and this is just absolutely brutal. You can see I even get fancy. I know that I'm gonna get debuffed by a lot of icy winds here. I actually shield up that Shadow Ball, and I need to clear my debuff, so I switch into my Gyarados to catch a move. That's pretty nice. It makes this game a little bit closer, but man, these are very, very hard counters. This was definitely an interesting team comp that I tried out. I wouldn't say it's like super good, but it did use like some Pokemon that I haven't been running as much, and just kind of giving it a shot. Again, in Ultra Premier, everything is so wide open and diverse that there is literally like an unlimited number of team comps that you could try out. Every team is going to have some weaknesses, but it's kind of fun to give some of these different Pokemon a try, and then I even lag at the end there, but it doesn't matter. Good game. That was against the Nut93, who's a content creator on Twitch. This battle's up against Valor Ash, who's also a content creator on Twitch. So shout out to both of them. So my Escavalier is going to be my like handle on this Gallade safe swap. Whenever I'm building teams, you kind of always need to think about what are the most common safe swaps in the game. Gallade is still very common, and so thinking ahead on that matchup on how you're going to play it out is pretty important to guarantee that you can make fast swaps. I lose switch there, but I'm up 2 shields. So this isn't too bad. I know that they have Escavalier, and so both Gengar and Gyarados can kind of hang with Escavalier, so I'm not as worried. Gonna have to shield up this Leaf Blade, and I'm able to Shadow Claw it down. Out comes Empoleon. One Waterfall sneaks through there, which is not ideal. I probably switch into Gyarados right here to transfer the damage. No, I'm gonna throw this Shadow Punch. And then I really need to switch to avoid it being Waterfall down. At this point, if my opponent's Escavalier is running Mega Horn, I know that's going to hit for a lot of damage, so I do save the shield for that, because any move that the Escavalier throws here is most likely going to do more damage than whatever the Empoleon is going to throw with that Drill Peck. So I get baited with Drill Run, which is not ideal, but I'm just going to go double Aqua Tail here. I actually go Aqua Tail and then Crunch because I see how much damage that first Aqua Tail does, and I notice that I'm going to need a little bit more damage to take that out. Out comes the Empoleon again, and I'm able to get this Aqua Tail right before the Empoleon is able to get to a move and take it out, even though the Aqua Tail is resisted there. Good game. This battle is against the 6'4 Ninja, also a content creator on Twitch, and I swear I battle him like twice a day, every single day. And sometimes I win, sometimes he absolutely destroys me. So he brings out Slow King onto my Gyarados. I am totally fine with this. I can win switch if I want, or at least burn both shields. I'm just going to straight Crunch here. And that does not get shielded. He did lead with Snorlax, so it's pretty important that I try to fight for swap here. My defense fell, which is very unfortunate. Now I know that I'm most likely going to get farmed by the Snorlax. Any chip damage I can get off here is great. I was only going to get to 1 move, so I do go for the Crunch to do more overall damage. I know I'm going to get farmed, but I have regained switch with Gyarados. This allows my Escavalier to get onto the Snorlax. This is like 100% a superpower. And in the back is Kingdra, so I'm just going to immediately switch into my Gyarados here. And I should have thrown before this first move came through, because it's going to be an Octazooka, and it always seems to debuff. Like the percentage debuff chance on Octazooka is absolutely nasty. So I really should have thrown before that debuff came through. I'm undercharging this Shadow Punch here because I know that he wanted me to take out the Kingdra so he could farm more with Snorlax. But I leave my Gengar with very low health and a lot of stored energy, and then I'm able to switch into Escavalier and come back from that very challenging lead there. This battle's against Dunebug, who I think is currently #1 on the leaderboards right now. And we seem to get paired up every day as well. We get some nice lag here in the beginning. Gengar against Shadow Machamp is obviously favorable, but the Rock Slide from Shadow Machamp will most likely one-shot Gengar, whereas these Shadow Punches are not doing nearly as much damage. So I do shield that up. He brings in Exeggutor, and this is where Escavalier is really, really clutch here. You resist the confusion, you double resist Seed Bomb, and so I can really maximize the energy that I get from this matchup. Gonna throw the aerial ace before he gets to another move. Most likely the Machamp is gonna come back in, and so I want a lot of stored energy to threaten it. Ah, it's a Togekiss. This is not great. So I'm gonna throw this aerial ace. My switch clock is still not up, so I'm gonna get this aerial ace off. And then I'm just going to switch into my Gyarados here because this Togekiss is technically in Aqua Tail range. I'm just going to totally sacrifice this Gyarados here. I know that I'm still going to be able to get to an Aqua Tail. Out comes the Machamp. This is okay. I know I'm going to get the shield here. But at this point, the Machamp is so low that I just need to Shadow Claw this thing down. Have to shield this up. The Togekiss threw energy already, so I know that it doesn't have a move, and this, at this point, Shadow Claw is just going to take the victory there. Good game. Able to maintain good alignment there. Gengar and a Slowbro. The confusions absolutely chunk Gengar here. So I do one Shadow Claw, and then I swap to my Gyarados to transfer the confusion damage. Out comes Drifblim, and I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail bait here and see what they want to do. They do shield. It's very apparent that my opponent knows that I have access to Crunch. I'm going to let this go through. Unfortunately, it was a Shadow Ball. My opponent plays this very well, and I think I would have barely been able to get to Crunch here, so this was a mistake on my end. But I'm up in shields. I know Gengar is going to get a nice farm off of this Drifblim. This is most likely an Icy Wind, so I do let it go through because I can tank that. Out comes Swampert, and this is very tricky for the backline. Honestly, Swampert in the lead is also very tricky with this. Gyarados is pretty much the best response there, but if the Swampert's in the lead, Gengar is going to kind of have to hang with that and take some shields. So this is pretty tough. Swampert just easily outpaces this Escavalier here, but it's pretty much almost in Drill Run range, and I have back-to-back. I don't know why I did one more counter there and over-farmed. This is kind of just making this a little bit scarier than it has to be, but I'm able to throw another Drill Run here. Gonna be able to take out the Swampert. Barely not, but I get one more counter in. Whatever comes in, it's actually the Slowbro. I was not expecting the Slowbro to come in, so really heads-up play by my opponent, and then they catch the Shadow Punch on the Drifblim. Another really nice play by them. Gonna throw the Shadow Punch, but it's not gonna be enough to KO. And I don't have a move on my Escavalier, so they were going for the Confusion farm down with the Slowbro on my Escavalier, and that definitely threw me for a loop. So very good games to my opponent there. Gengar into Crustle. I have not seen that many Crustles around. Running Smackdown, X-Scissor, and Rock Slide I know is way more popular back in Season 4. Caleb Peng made a video running Crustle, and so a lot of people run that team as well. But seeing it in the lead is kind of wild. Gengar lead was kind of tough to deal with because you pretty much like always have to commit the first shield, especially in this matchup where I'm not running Shadow Ball, and so Sludge Bomb would be resisted. All I can do is just slowly chip away with these Shadow Punches, and so I lose the lead, but I'm able to farm with Escavalier and not get hit by move. That's good for me. Out comes Machamp. This is where Aerial Ace is kind of nice here as well because it'll hit for super effective damage even though it's a terrible move. I'm going to switch into the Gyarados here, but a loaded Machamp is just very, very scary. I do shield up the Rock Slide, which is good for me. I really need to get to this Aqua Tail. Unfortunately, it's a Togekiss in the back. And so I need to time my throwing of these charge moves to try to avoid an extra Charm sneaking through. And then somehow I need to... there goes an extra Charm. That's very bad. They're just going to fully farm me down and then Flamethrower my Escavalier, which is a very heads-up play on their part. And this is absolutely going to one-shot me. So really nice play by my opponent there. Able to farm down my Gyarados and Flamethrower the Escavalier. This is a solid play. I think one more battle here. Okay, this is a favorable lead for me again, but like the Rock Slide is very scary. So... out comes the Snorlax. This matchup is actually kind of tricky. I misplay this here. You technically want to throw the Drill Run after the Snorlax has thrown a superpower, because what the Snorlax can technically do here is double superpower. So I'm actually going to shield up one and then farm down. I've already seen them Machamp, so I do want energy coming out of this. Yeah, they were able to get to 2 superpowers, which is definitely not ideal. This Machamp is going to be able to farm me down, which is also not great, but I will get one shield back here. And these counters will still chip away at the Machamp. But now this is a lot scarier for Gengar. They bring out Lapras here, and this is very tricky. I do catch a Surf on my Gyarados, which is great, and I have all that stored energy on my Gengar still. I just need to look out for the Ice Beam or the possible Skull Bash. And Machamp still has loaded energy, so this is very scary. They're for sure going to save their shield for the Machamp. I'm going to shield this up. I know that Gengar should win CMP against Machamp. So I'm just going to throw this Crunch and see what they want to do about it. I undercharged it thinking that they wanted to shield. Well, I undercharged it so I could get more farm there, but they actually Skull Bash me, which is a pretty big mistake. Because that would have allowed me to farm more with Gengar. And I'm able to successfully bait and then get to the Sludge Bomb to KO the Machamp, and then I'll be able to take out the Lapras as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I am currently on vacation with my family, which is why we have a different backdrop here, and why the setup is so different, and so I'm not able to pump out videos as fast as normal. But as always, if you appreciate the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.